I'm thinking I'm gonna make like a how-to, like how to really awaken. Like shit just lonely, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm thinking like this, but a little step-by-step thing and post on YouTube and on here, like what to study, what to pay attention to, shit like that. It's a hard pill to swallow though, for real. You see what it did to me, shit. But it ain't break me though. But man, you gotta be cut different, really. Like shit, the first step's really flat earth. Right? If you come to accept that the earth is flat and believe that and understand, I didn't just believe, like just know that's the truth. If you aren't on that time or whatever you call it, dimension, parallel, whatever, if you're not on that time, then you ain't never gonna like get here. You know what I mean? This is like this shit's wild. I was thinking, I'm like, damn, am I dead or something? Did I die? For me to be like at this spot in my life, like spiritually or whatever. Cause like, man, this shit's, fuck, you can't even put words on it. But yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Mind Unveiled. That helped me a lot. It's a little easier, like he understands who he's talking to, and he it's more for like just curious people to look at, but it gets deep. Like when he got into the Cabbage Patch Kids and Cabbage Patch dolls and explaining that in orphanages, this was only like 100 years ago. And like, I don't know anybody who knows their grandparents' true story like that. Like we was just here all of a sudden, 80s and 90s, and our grandparents was there, and it wasn't really past your parents' parents, right? Like there's like family trees and shit, but nobody ever met them. You only see who you saw. And it's like, damn, okay, my grandpa was there till I was what, a couple years old, not 10, not even 10 on my dad's side. My grandpa's been gone on my mom's. But it's like, what about his parents? I only knew my grandma for a little bit before she died. And it's like, it's a mystery, like, the hell was she doing where she was at or whatever? Why are we here? And if you check out Cabbage Patch Kids on that Mind Unveiled channel, that's wild. It'll kind of put you onto the orphanages and kind of how, like, actually, before you get to that, like, there's so many layers to this shit. My first one was my first time where I'm like, damn. I was like, it was scary. Cause I'm like, I understand. I thought I knew some shit. Oh, 9/11, the government did it. Like, that was like, I thought I was woke to shit then. And then Tartaria, the mud flood was crazy. The flat earth and mud flood came around the same time, like 4 or 5 years ago. And right then, it was really I couldn't go back after that. You know, and that'll tell you right there where you lay. You know, some people it ain't for everybody. But that's why people like in my situation always say discernment and shit like that, cause it's like you critical thinking kind of, right? So you're like wait, you know, look at shit without a bias, right? Don't pick a side just cause. I mean, you could go off what school told you about space and whatnot, and then it's like, well, we learned it in school, and that's why I quit talking to people about it, cause I done been in fights in jail. I want to whoop people's ass about this, but like that, like people will sit there and really like argue with you and tell you that you're crazy or something, cause it's like, but what do you mean what do you mean there ain't no space? What do you mean the planets ain't there? What do you mean we never went to the moon, etc.? And it's like, well, who wrote the books? Who told us that? You don't know who told you that. We don't know who went to the moon. Like, there's no source of information. I'm thankful for, I went to college. Like, I'm going to school now, but I already got a couple associate's degrees. But I'm thankful that I went to college and I took this college writing class, and I feel like this teacher, like, knew when she was teaching us about how to write these college papers. I think she already knew, like, what seeds she was planting, you know, and who was going to really take that and run with it. And she made sure, like, that's the only way to pass that class or get an A. It was like, you don't pick a side. Like, no one cares what you think. It's how you lay the information out there, guide people through the evidence or something, right? And that's how you do your research. You always gotta check sources. You learn that from the first paper you wrote. Check your sources, cross-check them. You know what I mean? Like, credibility of the source means so damn much. But like, when it comes to, or like, there's peer-reviewed studies in college, like journals it's called. And that's multiple people checking the same science project or whatever they're studying, experiment, right? Statistics and all that go into it. Bunch of doctors and stuff. That's how you become a doctor. You gotta get one of these journals with your dissertation or something like that. But anyways, that's like the only thing that counts as credible. You can't Google nothing in college. So like, if you really apply that to you apply that to like your research, and if you're just saying school books or whatever taught you that, it's like, okay, let's double check that. Well, you check their sources or whatever, right? But anyways, before I get long-winded on all that, but that's like, someone will argue with you and hold that against, you know, what you're saying, like unbiased research. You gotta look into shit and see what's like, what adds up, you know? You can't just give me some numbers and tell me the sun's like 8,000 million miles away and we're spinning around all this and all that, and then not like show me, right? Just don't make no sense. So like, shit, if you can't like look at that and be like, well, shit, that don't make sense. It don't matter if it's in the school books. If you can't handle that, it probably ain't gonna change where you're at with this type of shit. I might not even be talking to nobody for real. And I don't know who on my friends list is like understanding what like the shit I'm going through. I don't know. I'm bored for real. I don't know what's about to happen though. I think in the last video I shared, if you look at that last thing I shared, there's this dude, the dude who I Am Awakened. He's got a lot of good shit if you're curious too. I was watching his stuff, and I think it is the last one I want. Either the last one or one before that, but like, something's coming. You know what I mean? Like, something's like, if you've seen Terminator, like I feel like I'm John Connor, like there, and anybody else feels like me, I bet they think they're John Connor too or something. Like, we're about to have to deal with something crazy. Like, there's a lot of weird shit going on. So I don't know. I'm just trying to like kind of get a network of people who feel like they're going through the same thing. Honestly, so that's why I'm about to make a video like that, I think. You probably couldn't catch up to this if you ain't already at like this deep in this shit. I don't know, that was it though. Just talking shit.